Today on ZN System 3, I'm going to be showing you my game setup tour. I've changed it a bit, but it's mostly going to be some tips. So this is how it's changed. The shelf is all dead. I just have some random stuff on the bottom and some shelves and whatever there from when this was a messy storage room. But as you can see, got everything all good and hooked up. And yes, I will be showing these consoles and in videos. This is my capture device. Yeah, you don't care. My microphone I'm filming with, and I usually just take this tripod, put it next to my chair, and just kind of use the film and then use the audio from it, which is awesome. Game storage, I really don't care how bad it is, really. VHS is whatever. So let me do some tips, but first I'm going to get the light on my phone. Okay, I got some light so that you can see everything. Some tips I have are, number one, on YouTube and stuff, there are lots of people with gaming setups. And the problem is they can be overwhelming, because you think, oh boy, like, geez, this person has a lot of stuff. I wish I had all that, or I need all that, or whatever. But if you don't really need it, there's no point. Like, a lot of these DS games I have just because I either inherited them or, like with Great Age, I mean, that's a good game, but also, it is like 5 cents at a thrift store. 5 cents is crazy, by the way. And, if you're just like, let's say, I don't know, you want to collect all the Nintendo consoles and all the best games or Mario games for them, or, Genesis Classic Edition, because you like Sega consoles just enough to have one of these. I just leave it there, plug it in when I want to play it, because it's not too often. Or, you want all the Xbox stuff. I have an original Xbox and an Xbox One, because, I like Xbox, and, and I wanted the original Atari 2600 for its shell. I'm going to be, putting a Raspberry Pi in it since it doesn't work. And I wanted a VHS player because I just really wanted VHSs. I don't use them too often, but they're fun to have. I'm trying to record some things onto them. I'm still figuring that out, though, because it does work with the output, but I'm still figuring that out. And so, one of the things I think is that, like, if your goal is to have neat wires, then do that. But I'm not willing to put in the work to just throw out this. And to be honest, this isn't that much. It's literally just video cables and power cables. That is all it is. And, if you don't want a million consoles or a CRT, just focus on your goals. You don't have to be like, oh, I need, like, good shelves and wood grain on my walls or whatever. Like, this is all I wanted. I just wanted to be able to play them, and I just wanted a CRT, because let me tell you, playing those consoles on that TV is a nightmare. And, have my Nintendo Lab, let's use them occasionally, some display, a really horrible Genesis controller that I cut the wire off because I didn't care about the wire, and the D-pad fell off, Got all the boxes for stuff I care about, including my first ever 3DS and NES box thing, and my iPhone's box, and whatever, and that. But, and I have a box of wires that I occasionally use, and some wires I use all the time for recording. And that's the thing. Oh, yeah. Yes, I do have an Apple Switch instead of a Nintendo Switch. But, that's the thing. Like, do it within reason. That's tip number one. But, tip number two is, like, you don't need a dedicated room. I mean, I do have a dedicated room, but it isn't really a room. It's just kind of a place I took for convenience because I had the chance. But really, if you didn't really want it, like, you don't need to do it. I mean, you could have some boxes and under your bed, and then, a console or two hooked up to your TV in your room or whatever. But, or like with games, I mean, I do have some lights here, but that's just because they're on sale one Black Friday. Like, look at this. This is literally in like a 75-cent box from the Home Depot, just so I could sort out my games. And I don't know, does it look like I really care about the organization of my games? Not really. And third of all, you don't have to be that pro gamer with RGB and everything. Like, my gaming chair is a rocking chair. And that's the chair people sit with. And that's just people come over, and I can bring over some chairs from the place where I play board games. And yes, there is a space here. But, and yes, that is a ping pong table, and yes, that is drinks and stuff. But, you know, the third thing is, you know, if you're having a lot of consoles, you don't need to not have them hooked up. Like if you're willing to spend like $20 even, I don't know, just a good tip is if you have a bunch of consoles, you don't need to switch them around or plug them in or whatever and have open outlets. Because what I do is I have 2 outlets, just standard outlets. And yes, I do have power strips in each one, and one is on all the time. But this one is for the newer consoles. I have 4 things plugged into it. My Switch, my 2 TVs, and my Xbox. Yeah, only 4 out of 5. So 4 things are on at a time in this setup. But here is where all my retro consoles are plugged in. And yes, there are 8 things plugged into it. Each one of these has 2 things, but that doesn't really matter because only one thing can be on at a time. So let's say I want the Retron 5. I do this because they both, you can't see the light too well because of the light that's on. But, yeah, this only cost me $11, by the way. I have the adapter that lets it play on my CRT, and its power adapter. That's all I need on. Or, let's say, you know, I want to play N64, or, you know, VHS player, or, you know, N64, GameCube, Super Nintendo back there, because I have these, like, 1-foot extenders that also have an extra cable for extending the bricks back there that you may be able to see. You know, because, yeah. And, yeah. Also, unless a game's really cheap, you don't need to buy every single game. Like, the games I have, I probably would only have, like, 4 of these games if I didn't inherit them. Or, you know, I only have all the games I'm going to play. Like, it's my Xbox One collection. You know, it's my Wii collection. You know, it's not too much. And another thing is the way you store your consoles. Let me tell you, I wanted to stand for my CRT, but I didn't want to buy a really big, expensive one. This is literally an old kitchen tray, but look what I did. It used to have a CRT on it, by the way. But yeah, it's staying on this. I have all my Game Boys and stuff in the drawer, and then, you know, just got my consoles on here. But I'm not saying you have to be like this. Like, you could have the neatest setup in the entire world, and yay. Also, I do have a setup in my room. It's my PC setup, which I'm not going to show right now because I don't feel like it. But, yeah, I have that, and, okay, yeah. And I have a dock up there plugged into my monitor with headphones that are just on full volume or standard volume, you know, when I'm playing for sound. And another thing, last tip, controller, organization. Oh dear. Nobody cares about that. Like, I mean, I do, but, like, when it comes to just having your controllers, like, you know, I just sort out, and each 3 of these cost $11 at, Walmart. You know, you got your, I got my NES, Super Nintendo, and that XX controller I like to use. You know, and then just, like, in times I use it very much. You know, and, so yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys later with a really good Minecraft video, because, like I said, I have a working setup now, and I'll see you guys later, and bye-bye.